Hey, welcome back everybody to Ginger and Chocolate. I'm your co-host Mike, and I'm here with my co-host Lindsay. Lindsay, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing pretty well, actually. I had a decent night's sleep and I'm ready to go.
Yeah, me too. I'm feeling pretty good. It's a nice day. I got my dog behind me laying down. He's happy. Here for the podcast.
That's nice. Mine are locked away in my bedroom still sleeping. They like to sleep until about 6:30 or 7, so um,
Yeah.
which is good for recording so that they don't scratch at the door. So listen, we have not actually recorded together in a couple weeks. It's
Been a
been a
little
while.
while. Been a
Yeah,
little while, so
I
it's
missed
good
you.
to
I
be
usually
back.
see you every week.
I know, right?
I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, we've only kept up through memes in the last few weeks, so
That's true. We have communicated via meme, as do most people nowadays, I think. People do memes or they do doom scrolling and send those to each other. And I'm not doing the doom scrolling thing.
yeah. No, it's a little much. Hence why we have the show, a little bit of levity in
Huh?
life when things are going on.
Exactly. Exactly. So tell me, how is your training going for the marathon?
It's coming. It slacked a little when I went up to Alaska. I was up there doing some fishing with some friends, and I did not run. I slept in till 5 o'clock, and it was awesome. I guess it doesn't really count if you're only sleeping until five,
I was going
but
to say, I don't know
go.
what world in which the 5 a.m. is to sleep in, but okay.
I guess when you get up at 3 or 4 with insomnia, it's a sleep in. But no, I just wimped out. It was dark, windy road and raining, and I don't like running on highways in the dark, so I
Yeah.
opted just to not train. But lately, it's been going well. I had a nice little 3 mile run on the Peloton yesterday, and that was good. Yeah,
Nice.
it's I like mixing it up. Having I like doing most of my runs outdoors, but then having a few of them on the treadmill. At
Hmm.
least the Peloton treadmill. That's a good one.
Yeah. Fancy.
Very fancy. Keeps your pace steady too. So I like that.
Hmm. Hmm. Um, So, what does your weekly volume look like right now? Like, how often are you running? Do you have a mileage goal per the week,
Mm-hmm.
or so? What's that look like?
About 4 times a week: Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, and I'm putting in about I don't know, 25 miles a week, maybe.
Okay,
Yeah. So it fluctuates with my long runs. Kind of go back and forth. But right now I'm around 15, so I haven't looked too far ahead to see if it'll increase to that or from that or just stay around there.
that works. I think the
Mm-hmm.
longest run I ever did training for a marathon was like maybe 18.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Exactly.
I had a coach at that time, which was helpful because I thought I had to run like the marathon before I
Mm-hmm.
did the marathon. And she
Yeah.
was like, no, that's not even something you need to do. You just need to run close to it and then you'll be fine.
Yeah. Well, I think that was the old school training. I remember hearing about guys like Dave Scott and them would do an Ironman to train for an Ironman
Yeah.
a lot. And I think a lot of those, OGs, a lot of them came with like some heart scarring from not enough recovery and pumping it too hard.
Oh yeah, that's definitely a thing. And then some of us are more injury prone than others, like
Yeah.
myself. And
Yeah.
so doing all that extra, doing the event before the event is something that would just cause me to miss the actual event.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
hmm. All right. So you're not that far away. When is it again?
October 26th. So I'm less than a month out.
Oh, dang. All
Yeah.
right. All right. That's great. I'm excited for you.
Thank you. Yeah. Me too. It'd be nice. I haven't done an event in a few years now. So it'd be good to get back to that experience and have an actual event that I've been training for because I think I brought it up in the show before. I do a lot better if I'm training for an event.
Hmm. Yeah.
If I'm not training for an event, I'll do some stuff for funsies, but I can't get that motivated to train unless it's leading up to something.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. So I think I've mentioned it, 2 events on my calendar, a 10K in December and a half marathon Christmas, New Year's Day.
Yeah.
And so I'm running too, except that I'm not running. I've been blowing it off, which is not helpful. I've been reading a lot of books about running and then not running, which is so crazy. I mean, what the hell? So, like, before I go to bed or if I wake up in the night and I can't sleep, I like to read. And for the last couple of years, I've been reading about podcasting and
hmm
I've switched to reading about running. So, I've read one Matt Fitzgerald book and I'm 80/20 running. And then I'm about halfway through another one, Run Like a Pro. And I need to be disciplined. So my goal is to run Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. And so I'm going to check in with you regularly. Like I'm running, I'm going to
Okay.
get out there now. I think it's partially because it's dark out now. And so I can't
Yeah.
run before work. And I mean, I suppose I could, but don't like to run in the dark by myself.
Yeah.
I had a creepy guy follow me home a few years ago during the day and I had to pretend like I didn't live where I lived. And then I had to yell at him to get away from me because he was just following me. So after that, I've been a little bit averse to being out in the
That
dark. I mean, yeah.
will put a dampener on it for sure.
And this was during the day, even the guy was just following me. And I'm like, could you? What he didn't know is that he was rolling up on an angry menopausal woman who was having a hot flash. And I was just like, get the fuck away from me. Because he ran right
Yeah.
up to my face at some point when he realized, like, I was kind of hiding. I kind of stopped behind this van. He like ran around the van and ran up to my face and was like, "What's your name?" And I just said, "No, no."
No.
And I had my dog with me, and he looked down and saw I had Duke with me. He looked down and he saw Duke. Then he looked at me and he was like, asked me again, "Well, what is your name? Is it Lisa?" Which I don't know where he got that from. And I just pointed away from me and I go, "No." I'm waiting for you to stop following me. Get away from me. And he walked off.
That's one hell of a pickup line
I
or way.
mean,
That's, yeah,
this was like
fun.
a 20-something-year-old guy. He was probably 6 feet tall and he had a hoodie on over his head and he just came rolling. Like he pretended he was walking down one street and then all of a sudden I turned around and he was behind me. And then when he saw me, when he saw that I saw him, he crossed the street, but then he just matched my pace. And then I stayed behind this van and he came running across the street and around the van like a total creeper. But they say guys that are kind of predatory say, they are assessing, who's vulnerable, who's not vulnerable. And I was just like, I'm going to be a pain in your ass. I'm going to yell. I got a dog with me. Like, this ain't going to go down the way you think it is. And he just was like, let me give up on this. I'll find somebody else list.
Yeah. I am not prey material.
No. Mm-mm. I'm
Good.
angry right now. I'm hot. So I looked at it. But the bummer thing about that is, I didn't get hurt in any kind of way and he left and whatever. But I have it in my head somewhere in the back of my mind. So like I used to run from my house in the dark or go walk my dogs in the dark and stuff. And now I just don't want to. Like I'm afraid I don't, I've never seen that guy again, but there's just something about doing that freaks me out. And so now I need to run during the day because it's dark out, and
So you want to do it after?
or during even my lunch, I could go do a short run during the day, but I end up getting sucked into work and then I don't do it and then I need to do it after. And I've just been farting around. So I'm going to check
Yeah.
in with you to get some discipline.
Like it.
So I'll just say this last thing. One thing I have been doing very consistently is going to my strength workout, which is crazy because normally I don't want to do the strength and I'll do the running. Um, I've been going 2 days a week to my little strength class and I love it. And I pop up at 5 in the morning and I just get over there by 5:30 and I have my workout going and it's pretty amazing. So even though I haven't been running, I'm getting stronger, which is something
Yes.
that I need.
That's awesome. Yeah. I'm going to hop on my bike today.
Ooh, on the trainer?
Yes. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm not an outside cycling person anymore on the
Mm-hmm.
road. I'm gun shy to it just because knowing too many people who've gotten hit and then looking at too many people who are texting and driving just doesn't appeal to me. And I know you like to gravel bike off road, and that sounds like a good deal. But on road for me, no. I'm on the trainer on Zwift unless I'm at a race.
Yeah. I think a lot of people are doing that at this point because Zwift is so good too, makes being on the trainer easier.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still an outside person, but I have to say I am a little nervous when I hear cars coming up behind me on the road because I'm like, is this person looking where they're going?
Yeah.
A lot of the times nowadays they're not.
Yeah.
So, okay, today we're talking about, discipline versus motivation.
Mm-hmm.
And we both described a little bit about motivation, sign up for events, but then there's the discipline piece of it. So I know you looked up a little bit on AI. What did AI have to say about discipline versus motivation?
The gist was this, and we'll go over it a little bit, is that motivation is great and it can get you started. But if you rely on motivation to keep going, your fitness levels will wax and wane with the level of motivation you have, kind of dependent on your mood.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas discipline is a constant, steady force if you employ it. So, you can get started with motivation and you can get spikes of motivation along the way, but better to have that as the match that starts the fire and the kindling and firewood to be the discipline that you set up in your daily life to accomplish it, because we all feel better after we work out. There's been few times where I haven't felt better because I was sick.
Mm-hmm.
However, every other time I feel better after working out. So it's just about starting, really,
Mm-hmm.
getting, we've talked about habits
Yeah,
and to maintain discipline. Oh, that's my dog barking in the background. Stop dreaming. Dreaming about chasing squirrels, I'm sure.
that definitely sounded like a dream bark.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am a person who's high in motivation and lacks discipline.
Mm-hmm.
So I have big dreams. I'm always like, oh, I'm going to do this, that, and the other. And I genuinely want to do these things. But then I do rely heavily on that motivation to get me going during the period leading up to the event. And you're right, it doesn't sustain a consistent workout.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think it's tough to build discipline. I was about to say it takes discipline, but it involves setting yourself up for success, I think. Like laying your workout clothes out the night before, having these consistent times to work out, so it just kind of goes into muscle memory. This is what I do at this time.
Hmm.
And having a strong why, why I'm doing this, why you're doing this. And then, so, letting yourself skip a workout occasionally if you're sick, tired, injured,
Hmm.
but for the most part, sticking to the plan and letting yourself remember, I should say, what it feels like to be done with it
Hmm.
beforehand, so
Right.
you can kind of prime yourself.
Yeah. In the program, they talk about when you have like a craving for a drink or a drug, or any kind of craving like that for an addictive behavior, to
Mm-hmm.
think it through. So think that drink through to the end,
Yeah.
before you take the drink, because it ain't going to end well. And if you can bring yourself, mentally through the process, to what the end result is, you have a better chance of not taking that drink. And it's sort of the same, a little flipped in reverse, but it's sort of the same thing with discipline. It's like if you can think it through what a run would feel like towards the, at the end, what the result, you're more likely to take that run than just, oh, I don't feel like it today. I'm tired. I got work. I got blah, 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 which is what I've been doing lately.
Well, I'd like to hear what you think about this, but some of my favorite workouts have been the ones I didn't want to do. And then afterwards, I just feel like a champion because I did it. I didn't want to. I set out, maybe I wanted to quit partway through, but I stuck with it and did it. And that builds that discipline. And it feels good afterwards because easy workouts are easy.
Right, right, right. Yeah, that's true. Easy workouts are always easy. And those are what I'm looking for because I'm a little lazy to be. I'm not lazy, generally speaking. I work and I do all these things, but I can get lazy with my workouts. That's something that changed for me over during the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
I lost
Same
my
here.
sense of discipline and I have not really gotten it back, which is, I mean, it's been 5 years, so you'd think by now. But yeah, I think that I agree. When I just go do the workout that I don't want to do, when I'm done, that feeling of elation is higher. And I don't know if like there's more endorphins when I run when I don't want to run or what, but I definitely feel a little bit, happier, more excited, a little bit up.
Yeah, I think part of it, and this is going back to people like Jocko Willink, the Navy SEAL podcast, or David Goggins, that when you do something difficult or when you struggle a bit, you feel like you really earned it.
Right.
And I think at some level, we kind of need some adversity and some struggle, not too much to where everything is overwhelming, right?
Hmm.
But in modern life, we're not actively part of the food chain every day for the most part.
Right.
It, I think our being just kind of gets a little stagnant if there's no struggle. And so
Hmm.
that's, I mean, you see people who are well disciplined in life outside of athletic pursuits are generally in good shape
Hmm.
because that's how you build those habits, I think, by training your body. It trains your mind.
Hmm. That's an interesting topic, and maybe we'll dive into it one time. But I've read some things about sort of the human condition that we've evolved a lot, but we haven't evolved past the need to problem solve because that's how we survived and became an apex predators by problem solving. We don't have the power and strength of a lion, say, but we do have these brains. And so there's this need to regularly be looking for a problem to solve because that used to be daily life. Like, how are we getting
Mm-hmm.
food? How am I staying alive? And now in modern life, we've got all these creature comforts. We don't need to think about staying alive, generally speaking.
Right.
And, you know, not everybody, but most of us do have access to food that we need to sustain us. And so as a species, we're now just looking for things. So that's why you see this same article I was talking about was like how it's all relative. You'll see people who have a ton of money, for example.
Mm-hmm.
So anything they want or need is at their fingertips. There's literally nothing impeding them from getting anything they want and need. And yet they're not necessarily happier. And they have all these problems that are seemingly like to the rest of us, like, what are you talking about? Why is this even upsetting you? And it's because the brain needs to find a problem to solve. I'll give a quick example. Josh has a friend who is in that situation, just incredibly rich. And he could not get the Warrior, you know, tickets that he wanted, um, and for that year, and he wanted these sort of floor seats that are, a bazillion dollars, and they were sold out. And he was having a meltdown. He was so upset. He called Josh like, "These seats are out, and I can't get them." And he was genuinely like distraught. And in our world, that's not a thing. Like, not going to be genuinely distraught over not being able to get the season tickets I want because I have other things to fish to fry. Like, I need to pay my mortgage. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And so there's that brain. And so if you can create some things for your brain to work on uh, that are healthy, you're better off.
Yeah, exactly. Things that come too easy are boring. I
Yeah,
mean,
100%.
yeah, it's there's I guess we could talk a little more about building discipline into your daily life and what that looks like and what's hard about it, what makes it a little more doable.
Hmm.
And besides the things we've mentioned already, I think what helps me with discipline is to lay out a plan, what I want to achieve. Let's say, I don't know, we'll call it like an Ironman, right? I want to achieve this goal, and here are the steps to break it down of what I need to do and make it into smaller bits that I can do each day and set up rewards for myself. So after I do something, then I permit myself to do something else that's easy, fun, carefree. If I want to spend time looking at memes or whatever on Instagram. I'll do that after maybe I run.
Right, right. That's a good
So
point.
yeah, so there's ways to leverage our brains to do this a little better. Because without some kind of reward or a point or a why, it's just flogging ourselves, and that's not fun. I mean, I think you talk about the evolutionary side of it, and we're designed to be calorie expedient for survival. So the idea of going into a situation where we're exerting our body for no gain of food or safety or, basic life functions, it kind of throws our brain for a loop. Like, why are you doing this? There's not a predator chasing you.
Right,
You're not running after food.
right,
You're not running away or towards, some kind of battle. So what are you doing? You're just
right.
exerting yourself.
Why
And
why are we doing this?
why are we doing this? Yeah, exactly.
Um, and so an event kind of creates that, sort of mimics that thing where it's like I've got this
Mm-hmm.
looming event out there and I'm running towards that event so that I can, well, participate in it. But then the brain is like, oh, okay, there's a reason. I need
Yeah.
to be fit to do this event. It's there. So I've got a why.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of interesting because a lot of times when people say, oh, what is my why? And it's sort of like, well, they think of something like very, like, my why is that I run for XYZ charity, or I
Mm-hmm.
run for to remember my, I've done it. I've done a half Ironman sort of in the name of my stepfather who had just passed away.
Mm-hmm.
And those are good whys, but you can have the why just be the event. Like, I just want to do these running events because I like running. I want to get back into running.
Yeah,
There doesn't have to
exactly.
be a strong why. And the event is my why for, in theory, running, although I haven't been doing it lately.
Yeah. 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 My why is shifted a little bit. It's, I still do events to honor people that I've lost, but I've realized along the way that I need the physical activity
Mm,
to to be a better person for the people around me and for myself. I need that. If I don't have that, the quality of person I am drops significantly. I need it.
I like the way you put that, the quality of person. I feel the same way when I do my 5:30 a.m. strength class. That day, I'm always have a better day
Mm-hmm.
because I just feel a little more chill. I'm like, throw things at me, universe. I'm good.
There's a can-do attitude, I think, that is there after one accomplishes a workout. And,
Hmm.
I feel that too. And I just realized that, while my kids are growing up, especially now, they deserve the best version of me, and my wife does, my coworkers, my friends, myself. And so I want to, I want to be that person as consistently as possible. Yeah. And you think of the quality of work you can do at your job or what you can produce for the community or the world at large. And it's better when you're at your best,
Hmm.
right? Not saying anything revolutionary here. It's just when you're doing better, you can provide better for others.
That's right. And it's a little bit like being in an airplane. They say put your oxygen mask on first before you help someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Working out is a little bit of that oxygen mask for me. I'm definitely more willing and able to help somebody else or to do a good job at my job.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. The other thing I do right now, and I think I've mentioned before, is that I go to the program 5 days a week. I go to AA at 7 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
It would be easier for me to run at 7, but I've been very disciplined about going to this meeting, and
Yeah.
it really helps. So I don't want to give that up to run. It's something I want to do,
Yes.
and run. But doing that 1-2 punch of like an early morning workout plus a meeting. So by 8 o'clock, I've had a
Mm-hmm.
workout in and I've had a meeting. I'm like, I'm zenned out.
Yeah.
I'm all
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Things happen at work and I'm like, or wherever in life, and I'm like, yeah, it's cool. I can figure this out. It's fine. Whereas without that, I'm sort of like, fuck, why is this happening to me? It all becomes about like me and poor me. Why?
Yeah.
So there's definitely a very marked difference in who I am without the workouts.
Mm-hmm.
And yet, having discipline is challenging, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I like what you said about doing, setting up a schedule and doing a workout at the same time of day so that you start that muscle memory starts wanting it, because that's what happens with my meetings. Like 7 a.m. I want to be at that meeting. Like I can just feel it, and it feels off if I don't go.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And then when it's a little more loosey goosey when you work out or have a specific thing that you're disciplining yourself to doing is just you run into kind of the choice fatigue of like, well, I could do it later, and then you have to figure it out, and that becomes stressful for the brain. And most of us just go, shut it down, don't do it, right?
Yeah, that's what happened to me yesterday. I didn't run.
Yeah.
I was really tired. I had a bad night's sleep. I had to work, um, and at work is finally busy. I've been bored at my job. This new job I got last November. I've been really bored, and so it was easier to do some workouts because I just was like, whatever, I don't have anything to do. But now I
Mm-hmm.
have a lot to do, and so I kind of got into that pitfall of, okay, I'm going to run at lunch. Okay, wait, no, I'm not going to run at lunch, but I'll run after these meetings. Okay, then I didn't run after the meetings, and then I knew that I was meeting my sponsor like a half an hour after work ended. So then there's no way for me to do the workout,
Mm-hmm.
and it was that choice fatigue, as you put it, and it felt bad. That's the thing.
Yeah, it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good. One thing that I've learned and suggest to other people when I or they have been in situations where you want to build a habit and build that discipline is take the thing you're doing. Let's say it's run 5 miles, cut that in half, and then cut that in half if you're starting out. Because I know we're getting into different territory talking about habits, but habits and discipline go together.
That's right.
So the productivity guru Tim Ferriss came up with is that, or studied, is that consistency beats volume almost every time. Because if you try to add volume first, your motivation and discipline will usually crumble if you don't have the discipline already. Motivation will fall out. However, if you have consistency, you can build volume on that a lot easier.
Yeah, yeah, that's a really, really good point. Maybe that's what I'll do. I'll just cut, not that I'm running long by any stretch of the imagination anyway, but if I cut it down, it might be like, oh, okay, well, I can go run for 15 minutes. I mean, I don't have to run for an hour.
That's the thing. That's the thing. We learn how to build the volume a lot easier after we have the consistency done. Because there's also the intimidation factor of a big workout, right?
Right.
And then it becomes all or nothing. What's better, you know, not doing, let's say for me, a 13-mile run
Hmm.
at all, or doing 3 to 5 miles. I mean,
Right. Yeah.
right? Ideally, yeah, there's ideally, but then there's what you're actually going to do. And the thing is, too, you start working out. Sometimes it's like, okay, you have to slog through it, but sometimes you're like, all right, I'm here, I'm doing it, might as well do the whole thing. So
Yeah.
it's another nice little brain hack to kind of trick yourself into it.
Mhm.
Just start, and then quit after 10 minutes if you want to, and you have that out, and then
Yeah. That's a good point, and I think I'm going to try that to help with the discipline, because, like I said, I want to go on the same run schedule you're on. That's what works for me with the strength
mm-hmm,
training and everything in there as well. And the book I just read by Matt Fitzgerald about 80/20 running, he talks about it's not necessarily like exactly the same as a Tim Ferriss point, but he talks about running 80% at a really slow pace, just like
mm-hmm,
easy pace.
yeah,
And that most pros run this way. 80% of their runs are like in zone one, essentially. Um,
mm-hmm,
and that the 20% are like mid to hard runs. And that one of the reasons this, or a couple of the reasons this is good is A, it reduces the risk of injury.
mm-hmm,
B, it helps build consistency, because if you got to do a hard run every day, I mean, it becomes hard to want to get out there. If it's like,
Yeah.
I'm going to go super slow,
Mm-hmm.
then it's easier to go, okay, this isn't going to be a big deal. I'm just going to go out and run slow. And you can increase that volume more. I mean, it's very hard.
Mm-hmm.
These pros are running like 100, 120 miles a week. And it's very hard to get up to even that volume if you're running
Yes.
harder.
It really is. And I think it taps into our physiology too, for the reasons we talked about. Their brains want to be calorie expedient, but also the recovery time.
Mm-hmm.
And I was using something called the Moffatone method for a while, which is similar to the 80-20. More extreme version, I guess, was that you do all your stuff below like your anaerobic threshold, and you sprinkle in like a dash of salt. You sprinkle in sprints and things like that. But most of the training is done at that lower level for, running and cycling.
Yeah. So very similar theories. I think with
Mm-hmm.
80-20, that 20% has some slow running and recovery in between, these hard efforts.
Yeah.
And the other, and interestingly, he said that pros are very good at doing this, and they execute, and that your average, just like runner who's running for fun, not a
Mm-hmm.
pro, has a really hard time executing on this. And partially it's because of our egos. We don't want people to see us running that slow. And so we try to match times. I want to run my race pace every time. I want to run eight
Yeah.
minute
Yeah.
miles or whatever. I don't want to see someone to see me running 10.5 minute miles.
Yep. You just kind of gravitate towards the middle, and that happens a lot. And it's, I guess it's better to have the longer, slower runs or more consistent, slower runs, and then the speed work, done as prescribed, rather than run in the middle and just not get the benefit of either.
Right. And then, for me, it's like get injured or lose
Mm-hmm.
any sense of motivation because I can feel like my Achilles tendons starting to sing or whatever it is.
Yep.
All right, well that all makes sense, and the book did describe that 80-20 could be used for any endurance. So swimmers can use it,
Mm-hmm.
cyclists can use it, and in fact, it recommends cross training for runners. And so apparently Meb and other pros do cross train. They've changed some of their runs
Yeah.
out for now they're running twice a day, so they'll change
Yeah.
out like one of their runs in a day for. He said like elliptical is a good one, cycling is a good one. So you doing your rides today is you being
Mm-hmm.
cross training. So that's a good thing to do.
Yeah.
What else about motivation and discipline? It sounds like you're pretty motivated to do your marathon.
Yeah, I am. It did wane a little bit after I had the week off from Alaska, but I go back to my why. I go back to, all right, just get a short workout and feel how good it feels, and what I want to build, and having a race after my race set up,
Mm-hmm.
with a half Ironman in March, and
Yeah.
then possibly some other things, and then setting up some 5-10Ks with my daughter that I really enjoy doing. So it's like, yeah, I'm being in shape, working towards something
Mm-hmm.
a lot better than just kind of being bored and scrolling through social media too long.
Right. So
I
easy
always
to
feel
do.
better. Yeah, I always feel better.
I have to say, a lot of the social media stuff I look at makes me laugh, which is a healthy thing to do,
Yeah.
but it doesn't have the same effect as a workout.
No, no, it doesn't. Yeah.
If you are listening to our podcast, you should also be following us on Instagram and or Facebook, because I've been making a lot of memes about
Yes.
running and or cycling and posting those. And I try to be funny, and I think some of them are funny. Post them on my personal TikTok as well. And I've been having a lot of people I don't know who are runners commenting and liking them just because they can relate. Like
Yeah.
I did one last week about how some runners or a lot of runners have a urge to go number 2 during the run. And I did one saying, when you're mid run and you regret that second cup of coffee.
Second cup of coffee. Yep. Yeah.
And so I'm
Gets
doing
real.
I use CapCut, so I have all these really funny videos that I can put this to. And so, yeah, check it out if you want to laugh about the sport that we do. So, I don't know, did we do it? Are we done? Do
I
we have
think
anything
so.
else? All
I think
right.
so. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, listeners, go ahead.
No, I think we can do more of a deep dive into both motivation and discipline at different
Mhm.
times, but just want to kind of cap it off as, yeah, motivation can be the match that lights the fire, and discipline is the firewood that keeps it going. Motivation's not there.
Right, right. So there's steps. Step 1,
Hmm.
become motivated to do something, whether it's an event or, it's a personal motivation, like an internal one, like Mike has been doing his Ironman for all these years, or just the event itself. Step 2, set up your schedule and follow it without concerning yourself about how you feel.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm motivated and I am committing to being disciplined. I'm going to check in with you, Mike, and be like, I did my run, or at least
Yeah.
admit that I'm not doing it because I think I don't want to admit it to you that I'm not doing it.
We'll be running the same days, so this helps.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, all right, listeners. Well, thank you for listening. And if you want to do one thing to support the podcast, rate and review on whatever podcast app that you listen to. You can rate us, hey, any number of stars you want, but we'd like all 5 if you are feeling it, and review. And that will help us get us out there so other people who can enjoy the podcast and maybe use some of the advice that we have can listen. So, anyway, we will see you next week.
See y'all later.
Bye.